It's 3 in the morning. Your dog has a perfectly good bed across the room. Yet somehow they're here, beside you, eyes fixed on your face. They're not asleep. Not entirely. They're watching. And for some reason it feels intense. Most people think it's about comfort, or habit, maybe even boredom. But behavioral science suggests something far more fascinating, something that taps into the deepest corners of dog psychology, and perhaps even your own. Dogs staring at humans is a behavior as ordinary as a wagging tail. We see it every day and shrug it off. But what if I told you that this simple gaze is layered with evolutionary history, neurochemistry, and emotional communication that we're only beginning to understand? At first glance, it seems simple. A dog looks at you. You smile. Maybe scratch their ears. Problem solved. Most people assume dogs do this because they want something: food, attention, or comfort. We often label it as cute or clingy, attributing human-like motives without thinking twice. But here's the contradiction. Dogs don't stare at everyone. They don't look at strangers the way they look at their owners. They don't fixate on the neighbor who tosses them a treat. And they don't stare at you the same way when something is wrong. So what's really happening in those eyes? Researchers at the University of Tokyo conducted an experiment on 30 domestic dogs. They placed dogs in a room with their owners and a stranger. When the owners left briefly, the dogs were presented with a simple puzzle, a treat hidden under a cup. Almost all dogs instinctively looked to their owners for guidance, even though they could easily solve the problem alone. The gaze wasn't random. It was communicative. It was social. It was strategic. This behavior is not about manipulation, as some might think. It's about attachment. Just like a child glancing at a parent in a new environment, dogs use their gaze to seek reassurance. They are reading you, and they are silently asking, "Are you here? Can I trust you?" And the science gets even more intriguing. When dogs lock eyes with their humans, their brains release oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds parents to children. In fact, a study from Azabu University in Japan found that after just 30 minutes of mutual gaze, oxytocin levels in both the dog and the human increased significantly. Your dog isn't just staring. They're sharing an emotional connection that literally rewires your bodies to feel closer. At the same time, cortisol levels, the stress hormone, decrease in both parties. This mutual gaze acts as a calming mechanism. Your dog's eyes are more than expressive. They are therapeutic. They help regulate emotions. They synchronize your internal states without a single word being spoken. But to truly understand why this behavior exists, we need to go back thousands of years. Dogs did not evolve in isolation. They were not simply domesticated from wolves in the wild. They co-evolved with humans. Archaeological evidence shows that humans and dogs shared settlements at least 15,000 years ago. Wolves capable of interpreting human signals survived and thrived. The ones who stared, the ones who read our intentions, became companions. Their gaze was their way of connecting, communicating, and surviving. So when your dog looks at you across the room, they are tapping into a lineage of thousands of years, an evolutionary history coded into their brains. Their stare is a silent echo of survival, trust, and mutual dependence. And here's something that might surprise you. Not all dogs are equally skilled at this. Border collies, golden retrievers, and Labradors are often exceptional at gaze communication. But research from Hungary's Eötvös Loránd University showed that wolves, their wild ancestors, are far less likely to initiate eye contact with humans. It's not shyness, it's evolution. Domestication selected for this exact skill. The ability to stare, to bond, and to influence human behavior subtly. Now consider the emotional meaning. When your dog fixes their eyes on you, they are making a statement. You matter. I trust you. I am safe with you. It's an affirmation of your bond, silent but undeniable. This isn't vanity or attention-seeking. It's attachment expressed through a language older than words. Neuroscience helps explain why we feel so affected by it. Eye contact triggers the release of dopamine in the human brain, the same chemical that rewards pleasurable experiences. When your dog stares at you, your brain interprets it as meaningful social engagement. You feel seen. You feel acknowledged. You feel connected. It's why a dog's gaze can warm your heart more than words, more than a hug. But there's also a subtle warning embedded in this behavior. Dogs are exquisitely sensitive to environmental and internal changes. If your dog suddenly stops making eye contact, looks away, or averts their gaze more than usual, it might indicate stress, pain, or discomfort. That same stare that conveys love and trust can also signal when something is off. Your dog is reading you, and you should be reading them. There's another layer that surprises most people. A 2020 study from the University of Portsmouth found that dogs will stare longer at humans when they are unsure how to solve a problem, even when food is involved. The gaze functions not just as attachment but as communication, a request for guidance, reassurance, or cooperation. Dogs aren't just looking, they are problem-solving through social interaction, and the emotional insight here is profound. That gaze is a form of vulnerability. Your dog is silently admitting, "I need you." And in response, we feel a compulsion to nurture, comfort, and protect. It's a dance of empathy and trust, choreographed over millennia. So what does all this tell us about the human-dog relationship? It's not merely companionship, it's a mutual psychological partnership. Every stare is a small testament to thousands of years of coevolution. Every blink, every pause, every softening of the eyes is an emotional exchange written in the language of oxytocin and trust. And yet, despite all the science, there's still magic in the moment. Because while we can measure hormones, track gaze, and analyze behavior, the feeling remains. When your dog looks at you, it can make the world shrink. It can make your worries feel smaller. It can make you feel, in a subtle but undeniable way, loved and seen. So the next time your dog stares at you, resist the urge to label it, dismiss it, or think it's trivial. Pause. Watch back. Breathe. Because in that gaze lies thousands of years of history, a chemistry of love and trust, and a reminder of why humans and dogs remain inseparable companions to this day. And if you think your dog's stare is just a cute quirk, consider this. It's a conversation without words, a bridge between species, and a mirror reflecting your own emotions back to you. Dogs stare because they have to. They stare because it works. They stare because it is, in every sense, a language we've evolved to understand. If this changed how you see your dog, subscribe for more psychology-driven insights into the animal mind. And tell me in the comments, does your dog stare at you like this? What do you think they're trying to tell you? Because every stare has a story. And sometimes, the story is far deeper than we ever imagined.